Five Nights at Freddy's, in its infancy, was founded in a grotesque amount of realism. Minus the whole child souls thing, that made these characters scary because of their environments and not the other way around. At least that used to be the focus. Anyways, some choices that Scott made during his 9-year career of being FNaF's main man are questionable, say the least, so I thought it would be funny if I were to poke the logic of those games and see just how broken their in-world logics are. I don't really know how to stretch this intro anymore, so let me just get right into it. Warning, this is just for fun. All of the criticisms I have for these games is completely for comedy purposes unless stated otherwise. Also, I'm winging all of these scripts out of my butt cracks, so be prepared for some absolute stinkers. Alright, let us start simple with FNaF 1. By far the most realistic game out of the bunch. You see this newspaper when you press new game, and this is where all the logic evaporates. Who in their right mind will work for $120 a week? Doing some simple math, that is literally 71 cents per hour. You could chalk that up to be the 80s/90s, but that's still $325, which is still $1.93 per hour. This is only abysmal, but downright criminal. And considering what kind of shit you have to deal with, which is a whole can of worms in itself here, every day, I'm surprised how the news clipping anyone took seriously. Also, yeah, I know that there are some smartasses that believe that the player in all these games is Michael or someone, but I don't give a fuck about that.
I'm very sorry, and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving up.
I'm looking at this like a regular Joe who's looking for a job. And once you're in the actual fucking building, why does this phone person say the most ominous shit a man can conjure up and straight up fucking dies on call like some live leak type of shit? Also, why did dude decide to stay after the first night? If I were to see Bonnie move a fucking inch, I'm getting out of there. I'll bet asking my raise to be $120 an hour. Also, a common theme all of these locations have, none of them abide by any regulations. Those dangling wire thingies wouldn't suffice any health inspector. Also, a bonus 50 cents is just wow. Jesus Christ, I gotta move on with this video. It's gonna be hella long otherwise. FNaF 2's location is even worse somehow. Once again, the stupidly low wage returns here, which brings forth all of the criticisms from the last game here as well. Now this establishment has a prize corner, which, by the way, how the fuck does one wind up this thing over a fucking tablet? I think it is neat that there's a children's play area next to it, but one thing that I don't see having any sense is that abomination that is hidden away in there for children to fucking play with. Can someone explain to me why the fuck can Foxy see through the mask while others can't? Or is it just that Foxy has beef with Freddy, so he's looking to smoke his ass? How the flying fuck is Mangle allowed to be shown to customers? Didn't the past game make it explicit that bare naked endoskeletons aren't allowed out of parts and service, but in this game they show us this? I got the FBI on this thing lickety split. Also, this is all without mentioning the fact that literal bodies are tucked away within these suits and nobody gives two fucks to check them out? How are these locations still working? Not to mention that in the third game, a literal 30-year-old decaying corpse is part of the establishment. How were the workers not immediately repulsed by the stench of this foul being? Pretty sure that this place doesn't even have bathrooms, so if you got to take a steaming dump in the middle of it, well, you're out of luck. I guess you could just fucking shit on the floor because everything else smells like ass, so nobody would notice. Also, who the fuck builds a horror attraction and makes the building barely standing and important stuff such as ventilation not work most of the time, let alone a major fire risk? This place needs more emergency exits. Like put them fucking everywhere, I don't care. Honestly, FNaF 4 is the one with the most logic of them all. Almost anything that happens in this game can be chalked up to unfortunate circumstances or pure fucking negligence. Also, can we just admire this child's bedroom and why the architecture of this place sucks ass? Why are there two hallways to the same room? William gotta be making bank if he's able to afford a house the size of a fucking palace. Sister locations where any realistic authenticity this series has managed to save so far disappears. Why would an animatronic storage be underground? Actually, fuck that. Why would a private pizzeria be underground? What, is that to make sure that capitalistic greed survives in a post-apocalyptic wasteland? But why on God's green earth do the animatronics have movable faceplates? One could maybe argue that, yeah, that's because the fun times were actually built to lure in children, but that makes zero fucking sense why they moved us around in the game's trailer. I just can't even anymore. Let's just wrap up these next few games. FNaF World. Got literally nothing to say about it. Special delivery. Why is it called that? There's no correlation with its name and what you actually do in the game. FNaF VR. Actually pretty alright though. All of the criticisms from the other games apply here except except the whole brainwashing thing, but I guess a virus can do that. Security breach. I don't even want to diss this game on its illogical choices. I could go on about how the characters are questionably designed. Why is Roxy so bust? Why is Vanessa so bust? Why does Purple Guy even fucking bother returning? Why is there an old location quite literally under the Pizzaplex? Actually, fuck it. The very idea of a consumerist Pizzaplex even existing is beyond me. Did the franchise go so meta that it's aware of its own popularity? I just have no idea. Rowan DLC. Haven't seen the entirety, but it looks like a fever dream. Freddy in space. Perfect in every conceivable way. From what I could gather is that Scott never really thought anything out relating to the actual world of the games. I know that his main priority was the story and whatnot, but still, a little realism wouldn't have hurt anyone, and actually that would have made the games 10 times more scary. But fuck you, it's always easier to take the cheap idea.